Hey, folks, it's Stephen Foster. Now, we haven't talked face to face in some time, but I send out all these blogs to my mailing list, and I just thought with this latest news with the mortgage rates, that we should get a little more clarity around that, what that means for you, what that means when we see stuff in the news and they make this big announcements, these rate cuts. Everybody gets really excited. And while it would appear to be great news, it's also important to clarify that. And I thought I was going to write something to you and send out that information. Then I realized that I'm not an expert. So I thought I'd bring in an expert. And I'm going to introduce Jason Roy Mortgages. We have known each other and have done business together for, I don't know, Jason, what's been at least 10 years or more?
More than that. Yeah, it's a long time.
It's more than that. Yeah, he reached out to me years and years ago. Because we were the only two guys really doing video at the time. And I remember the first call, Jason said, I'm just going to give you a call. I got to reach out this Foster guy because I don't know why we don't know each other. Anyway, folks, Jason Roy, some of you already use him and know him because you've probably done some mortgages through him. And for those of you who don't and who have not yet bought a home or are interested about purchasing a home but don't understand the mortgage rules, Jason is an incredible resource, and I thought I'd ask today just a little bit about the rate cuts and what that actually means. And he illuminated many of those things to me today. He says, well, those don't actually apply to fixed rates. But Jason, so what's the deal when we get a big rate cut? What happens, and what does that mean to people like me who might be looking for a new mortgage?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is get clarity of what the rate cut means and what the numbers that the media likes to throw out there. So we had a 0.5% decrease in the Bank of Canada's overnight lending rate. So what does that even mean? So you'll see media posting that the Bank of Canada's overnight lending rate is now 3.75%. Everyone gets excited that, oh my God, rates are down. But that's their overnight lending rate. That's not my bank's prime lending rate. The prime lending rate is now 5.95%. So the Banks of Canada has their rate. The banks themselves have their prime rate. And that's what you and I get our rate, variable rate mortgages from, is based off the bank's prime. So that's 5.95%. You probably will get a discount somewhere between 0.5 and 1% off of that for your actual mortgage rate. If you have an existing variable rate mortgage, that means your rate just went down 0.5%, and your payments will go down about $29 per $100,000 that you owe for rough calculations. The other confusing part is that fixed rates aren't coming down. Fixed rates don't come down because the Bank of Canada makes a rate announcement. Fixed rates are priced from what is called the bond market. Variable rates is priced from the Bank of Canada's overnight lending rate. So if you have a fixed rate, nothing changes. If you're thinking about getting a fixed rate, nothing changes. The only thing that's changed is any variable rates, home equity line of credit, anything like that adjusts to the Bank of Canada prime lending rate. Okay.
So the hype and excitement around that lower rate, while it's a sign that the government is working to manage what would be considered the inflation that has been going on, but it's quelled a little bit, and there's difference in opinions about that right now as well.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the lower rate is politically, it looks good from the Bank of Canada, and it might be good to stimulate investment and builders, perhaps.
Yeah, I think. They're trying to. Inflation is. We're not getting price decreases, but we're not getting as much of a price increase. So they feel they've got that under control. Now the concern is, do we get into deflation? The Bank of Canada, the government doesn't want deflation as much as we all want prices to come down. They don't want that. So this 0.5% decrease today is larger than the typical 0.25%, which tells me they're a bit concerned about that we're going too far with the correction in the economy, and it's actually means the economy is not doing well. So positive news for mortgages, negative news for the economy as a whole.
Okay. Well, this is like we're gonna call this the Mortgage Minute, and maybe we'll bring this back to you client lists if you'd like more information, or if you have any questions, feel free just to put some remarks in this down below the blog, do some commenting, or send either of us a direct note. Jason, just shout out your email, and maybe we'll find some way to put it in here as well in the blog. I'll write it down, your contact information.
Yeah. So just Jason at jmortgage.biz, or call or text me 587-926-6114.
Is that your personal line, Jason? Can we just call you and
Just
text you
direct me right to me,
all hours of the day? That's sort of like
right,
me.
right
You
to
know,
me.
people say, "What that number?" I said, "It's actually my home number," and people call me
Yeah.
at all times, and that's the nature of
Yeah.
this business. I was just saying that we uh we work. I'm actually right now up at my little getaway cottage, but it's only because I pretty much work 365, so I take my work with me. So this is being recorded on Starlink right now, which is my first effort. So if the signal gets like really, at one time I felt like I was looking at an aquarium at you, so that might show up in the screen recording.
Well, the information's
Otherwise,
still there anyway.
information.
Not everyone's here to see our handsome faces
Oh,
anyways.
yeah, yeah, awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Jason. We'll talk to you again. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Well, that wraps up today's little mortgage minute with Jason Roy, and I hope you find that informative. I certainly did. I always thought that those rates meant all sorts of things happened, and clearly the fixed rates aren't going to move that much, but it is certainly a good sign from the government that they're going to do something, and they're also talking about perhaps another big one in December. So who knows what that's going to bring. Lots of stuff happening, lots of political moves going on out there. Anyway, hope this finds you well, happy, healthy, wherever you are. And again, if you ever want to talk about property, or you'd like to get an idea of what the value of your home, or you're looking for a home, we are here to help, and we are happy to do so. Anyway, until then, take care, and we'll see you next time.